Hello, it's April from April's Home, and today I'm making a really delicious low-carb casserole. This is sort of a twist on a classic pasta casserole, an Italian pasta casserole, but instead of pasta, we are using broccoli florets. So what you'll need for this casserole is about 1.5 pounds. This is probably about a pound, 1.65 pounds, something around that. So a little bit more than 1.5 pounds of browned hamburger. I have seasoned that with a little bit of dried chopped onion and salt and pepper. So we've got that all ready to go. You'll need a jar of pasta sauce here. This is my favorite, tomato and basil. This is a no sugar added variety. You will need two 12-ounce bags, about 24 ounces, so two 12-ounce bags of broccoli florets. You'll need some cheese. I'm going to be using some mozzarella and mild cheddar, as well as some grated Parmesan. To my sauce, I'll be adding some extra seasonings just to punch up that flavor, a little bit of ground oregano and Italian seasonings, a little bit of heavy whipping cream, and I also like to add a can of mushrooms to my sauce. This is completely optional. If you don't like mushrooms, you don't have to add those. I'm going to go ahead and just drain this and add that into the sauce as well. So that is what you'll need. It's actually a pretty simple recipe. I'm going to go ahead and put this hamburger in a pan and combine it with the sauces. While I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and partially cook these broccoli florets. I don't want to fully cook these yet because they will continue cooking as this casserole bakes, but I definitely want to get them started cooking so that while they're in the casserole, they cook all the way. So I'll probably microwave these for about 5 minutes each. You could also steam them until they're just barely fork tender so that they have a little bit of firmness left to them, again, so they'll stand up in that casserole. So I'm going to go ahead and get my broccoli ready, and I'm going to put my hamburger in a pan so I can get the sauce ready, and I'll show you how to do that. You will also need a 9x13 pan sprayed with pan spray, and we're going to be cooking this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, so you'll want to go ahead and preheat your oven. Okay, so I've returned my hamburger to my pan here, and I'm going to start warming that up a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead now and add my jar of pasta sauce. And what I like to do is add about 1/3 cup of water to this jar, shake it up, and pour the rest in as well. That way we get out all of the sauce, and also we can thin it out a little bit so it'll spread easily through our casserole. So I'm going to go ahead and get this stirred up, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some of my seasoning as well as my mushrooms. Okay, I have my sauce stirred together with my cooked hamburger there, and now I'm adding a teaspoon of Italian seasonings and 1/2 teaspoon of ground oregano. I'm also adding my small can of drained sliced mushrooms. This is a 6.6 ounce can. Now I'll go ahead and stir this in and bring it up to a simmer. Next, I'll stir in 1/3 cup of heavy cream. Our sauce and hamburger are all mixed together, and now we're ready to assemble our casserole. I'm going to start by ladling one ladle here, not a lot, to the bottom of my greased 9x13 casserole dish. So I'm just going to put this in here and spread it around just so we create a little bit of a meaty base for our first layer of broccoli. Might add in a little bit more here just so we have a good base layer. And next I'm going to add one of my partially cooked bags of broccoli florets. I've added one of my bags to the layer here, and I made sure to kind of spread it out evenly as I can. If you just cooked one larger bag, just go ahead and add 1/2 to this layer. And now we're going to add 1/2 of the remaining sauce mixture to the top of this. Okay, so now we've got our first layer of broccoli covered with sauce, and now we're going to go ahead and top this layer with some cheddar cheese and mozzarella cheese. I'm going to start with about 1 cup of cheddar cheese here. Looks like I'll need a little bit more here. I don't know if that was a full cup, but you get the idea. Just a nice thin layer, thin-ish layer of cheddar cheese. I'm going to go ahead and straighten this out here and even it out a bit, and then I'm going to add a layer of mozzarella. Okay, so now I've spread out the cheese and added my little bit of mozzarella cheese to the top of that. And now I'm going to add the next bag of our broccoli florets. I've added my last layer of broccoli to the top of this casserole and made sure to even that out. And now I'm going to go ahead and top that with the rest of our meat sauce. So I've added the rest of the sauce and spread that out over the broccoli. And now I'm going to give it a final topping of cheddar cheese, mozzarella, and Parmesan. Just a little sprinkle of the grated Parmesan. I like the flavor on the top of this casserole. My casserole is topped with a thin layer of cheddar and a thin layer of mozzarella. And now just a little tiny sprinkle over the top of grated Parmesan. And I think for a little added color, I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle the top with a little thin layer of parsley flakes. I love the way parsley flakes look in melted cheese. Okay, so here is our low-carb Italian broccoli casserole, all ready to go in the oven. I'm going to go ahead and get this in a 350-degree oven. I'm just looking for the cheese to be nice and melty, everything to start bubbling up, and for the broccoli to finish cooking. This should take between half an hour and 40 minutes. I'll let you know how long it takes in my 350-degree oven. My low-carb Italian broccoli casserole is out of the oven. It took about 35 to 40 minutes. It got nice and hot and bubbly. It actually just stopped bubbling here. And I've also gone ahead and drained a can of sliced black olives. I'm going to garnish it with that. And I'm going to serve this up with just a really simple side salad tonight and add a little bit more of the grated Parmesan. So now I'll go ahead and serve some up and give it a try. I've served up a nice big helping of our low-carb Italian broccoli casserole. I've garnished it with a little bit of black olives and a little sprinkle of grated Parmesan and served that with a side salad. And now I'm eager to give this a try. I've got a bite here with plenty of cheese, meat, sauce, and broccoli. And that is really good. I really don't miss the pasta in this. The broccoli is really delicious. I love broccoli with Italian dishes anyway, so combining it with this sauce and all the cheese is really yummy. I think it'll go along really nicely with this salad, and I think that the olives will add a nice little touch too. Of course, if you don't like olives, you don't need to add those, but definitely a yummy little sprinkle of Parmesan cheese and a side salad. This will make a really wonderful dinner. So that is my recipe for low-carb Italian broccoli casserole. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this recipe, and I hope you give it a try. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.